Hello, hello, welcome. If you are new here, please subscribe, click the notification bell, share everywhere, thumb up the video. If you are returning, welcome home.
It's showtime.
All right, so before we get into my theory of the talisman stones being science based and not magic, people have been asking about how to join the channel membership, how to support with the thanks that I was mentioning in the videos. I'm going to show you right now. So this is the front page of the Parkland Media YouTube channel. If you go to the very bottom, now I heard on iPhone that is different, but this is as if you're using desktop. I don't know how iPhone looks. I know the Android looks like how it's shown in front of you behind me. So at the very bottom, it's got the join button. You would click the join button to join. You should be subscribed with the notification bell. That bell is right there to make sure you get all the notifications. Sometimes you may have to unclick the bell, unsubscribe, and resubscribe and click the bell again if you're not getting notifications. And then if joining the channel membership by clicking the join button right there is not your thing, you can also support with a thanks, which is equivalent to a super chat. But the difference is that super chats and super stickers are while I'm live. The thanks is for when I'm not live and the video or stream has been uploaded to YouTube. You can do a thanks that is equivalent to a super chat, and I'll see it in the comment section, and I'll heart it and respond back to you. So yeah. So hopefully that answers everyone's question as far as how to join the channel membership, how to subscribe, and make sure you click the bell for notifications right there, and also how to support outside of a live stream with the thanks that's located to the right of the download button. Get it? Got it? Good. All right. I do not believe that the talisman stones are magic based. I think they're science based. So I want to go to when Boyd first discovered the talisman stones. And then at first I was going to do a video on this, but I was like, nah, you know what? Let me go ahead and do a members chat live stream. And by the way, this live stream is for the members as far as being able to comment in the comment section. I'll open it up to everybody after the main part of the broadcast is over with. Didn't mean to take myself off. All right, so that's Boyd right there. This is in season 1 when he was going through the forest, and let's see, he had the firearm at the ready. Going around in the forest in the dark. He still had the Parkinson's around that time. So he's got the firearm at the ready. He falls into the grotto. Now, when falling into the grotto, the creatures came out of nowhere. They were following him. They came up to the part of the grotto, which was the entrance that had a bunch of leaves. And that's the milkman right there. We'll also see the librarian. I think she's already turned away at this point. So the creatures went away. So we've seen the talisman inside of a house where if you put it up by the door or you hang it up somewhere, as long as a window is sealed shut, a door is closed, the creatures will not come inside. But in this grotto, there's no door, there's no window. These vines here, This vine, it kind of appears to be an entrance, but not really. Because with the vines, if we rewind, the creatures can see inside. They probably could just walk inside if they wanted to. In this situation, the talisman stone should not work. The talisman stones should not work. Yep, they shouldn't be working because that's definitely not a door, not a window, not a closed-in space. It's not even really a protective cover. It's no type of sealed-in thing. So, what exactly kept the creatures from coming inside? So Boyd, just like the rest of us, was thinking that when looking around, he's surprised they didn't come in there to get him. He looks around and he sees some stones, the talisman stones. He looks at them and he's thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe these stones are what caused the creatures to not go into the grotto there. And grotto is just just means a small cave. So he's thinking that these stones on the wall of the grotto, they're what kept the creatures from coming inside. And no, I don't think it was the stones on the side of the grotto. I think it was the grotto itself. I think it was the grotto itself. Yep, I think it was the grotto itself. Because I believe that what's on the front of the talisman stones, that's just something associated with rituals. But let me try to get a better shot. Yeah, what's on the front of the stone is just kind of engraving. We don't know what it means. It could mean a whole host of different things. People have dissected it. But I think that the same way that people put war paint on their face or tattoos on their body, or they put different inscriptions on top of tools, that's all we're dealing with. I think all we're dealing with is just stones that have a mineral that they're made of, and that's what's keeping the creatures from going inside the grotto. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I believe that's what it is. So just to read some definitions or hit you with some definitions. So stones, they're what makes a stone is the minerals that make up the stone itself. That's why they are called quartz, feldspar, calcite, different things like that. And so further going into the idea of the stone, the grotto itself being something of importance, is in season 1, there was a scene with Jade. Jade had walked down into the cellar. And in the cellar, he got a vision. So this is Jade. He goes down in the cellar. This is when he was looking for Toby. And he stumbled on to the Confederate soldier that's underneath the boulder. And so at first I was thinking, what exactly would be the situation where a large boulder would be on a Confederate soldier like that, because during that time of the Civil War, people weren't using boulders like that. They may have used boulders during a point in time where it was maybe the Jurassic Age with cavemen. I probably got that wrong. But people wouldn't just use a boulder to take out something unless this is something that couldn't be unalived by normal means. Yeah, it had to have been something that could not be unalived by normal means, and that's the reason why there's a boulder on top of the Confederate soldier. And you can tell the Confederate soldier based off that green uniform. And in the previous, I think it was another episode where Jade and Jim were hanging a radio on top of a tree, and we saw Confederate soldiers hung upside down, dismembered with the blood coming out, going on to the symbol, and then we see a Union soldier in blue with one of the eyes white going and engaging Jade, probably to try to unalive Jade, to use Jade in the same blood ritual that the Union soldier was using the Confederate soldiers for. So I believe that we saw this vision, or Jade saw this vision, because this was a way for the writers to communicate or foreshadow that unaliving the creatures and monsters in Fromville, you can't use firearms, obviously. You can't use a vehicle to run them over. The only thing that really hurts them are the stones that the grotto is made up of. So you gotta maybe get from a high position with one of those stones and drop it on one of the creatures. You could do that.
You win.
Or my other part of my theory is you'd have to take the grotto stones. Take the grotto stones and make axes out of them, or spears, or even take one of the stones, make a point or a tip, put it on a stick to make an arrow, and use arrows to shoot at the creatures. You probably would have a better chance using arrows against the creatures as opposed to getting up close and personal with axes, knives, or anything like that. Yeah. So I believe if you use a knife or a blade made of the stone, or maybe even an axe, they probably would catch you slipping. They probably would catch you slipping. All right, so when Kenny and Jay, I think it was Kenny and Jay, they first came upon this, the cabin with the humanoid statues. When, I knew it was Jade, Kenny, I know Kenny was in the party the first time they went out there, and they were looking for food. And so these humanoid statues, I know in the past I called them something different, my bad, but these humanoid statues, I believe that they're made from the same material or the same stone that the grotto is made from. And the reason why that the humanoid statues were put there is kind of an indication on, or illustration on, how you can take out the creatures. So first, what's going on? Owen Supreme, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being a channel member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining the membership chat. It's going to be for members only until I open it up a little bit later on. So I believe that this humanoid statue, that the reason why the spikes are at the top of it, this is my theory, just all theory, I believe that the reason why these spikes are at the top of it is to let you know, or let us know, or whoever runs upon it, this is how you can attack the creatures. You have to take the stone from the grotto. Take the stone from the grotto. And you have to make something such as, I believe these are like nails. You got to take the stones and you got to make something out of them that's sharp, whether it's a nail, arrow, something like that. And you have to put it into the creature's brain in order to unalive the creatures. So imagine you take a spear, arrow, something that you can use as a weapon. You can not only block attacks from the creatures, but you could also fight back. And I do believe that the stones from the grotto can hurt the creatures, and people have to get away from believing that, okay, I'm going to use the talisman stone just to hide in a house, and that's going to be my life until I make it out somehow. I think that the talisman stones were used for like instruction, maybe ritual purposes, but I believe the stone is more along the lines of instruction. They took one of the stones, they made instruction, and the instruction included, let me pull up the talisman stone so you can kind of see where I'm coming from. You could pick up where I'm putting down.
And to me, it's crazy.
Now, let's see, right here. So this whole time, we've been thinking, oh, well, maybe the talisman stone, maybe this is the faraway tree, maybe this is two people put together, this is day, this is night. I do believe that's possible that it could be that, but I also believe that maybe this is instructions on not just how to maybe do a ritual, but how you can unalive them. Because it looks like this is a humanoid figure here and a humanoid figure there. And I believe that this possibly could be a illustration of the fact that you're dealing with the creatures that they look one way, maybe at night, and then look another way during the day. And these creatures have the ability to shapeshift from one form to the next, so they're kind of like attached to an as above so below evil thing or whatever, where they're half human, half evil, and that the best way to take them out is perhaps maybe using a faraway tree or something to drop a boulder on them. I don't know. It could be a whole host of different things associated with these talisman stones. They could be a part of a ritual. They could be instruction. But I believe that the grotto itself, the stone that the grotto is made out of, is the secret to creating weapons to be able to neutralize the, or even eliminate or unalive the creatures. Mm-hmm. Just looking at how it is, this grotto definitely is man-made. And I believe this is kind of like a fort. Doesn't it look kind of like a fort to you? What do you think? Yeah, I think it's a fort. think whoever created this grotto, they used it as a base of operation to possibly go to war. Because if you think about it, okay, you got the log cabins out there, you got the colony house, you got the town. What would be the purpose of making one of these unless you were planning on going to war with stuff that's in the forest and using this as kind of like a fort, a mini fort? Because it definitely has got to be man-made. It looks man-made to me just because it's in the middle of nowhere. Someone, or maybe people who live in the forest, they took the stones from other places, piled them together, made a fort, and also probably created weapons and stuff from them. And that's the reason why we also see the humanoid statues in the front of the log cabin. That may have been another place where people were setting up as far as living. I still believe that the humanoid statues are maybe marking territory, but I believe that the humanoid statues, the reason why they have the spikes on the top of it is because those humanoid statues, let me pull it up. They're showing exactly how to unalive those creatures. Yeah, because that would be the only. I mean, unless they're trying to do a pinhead thing, unless they're trying to make a copy of Pinhead. But yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. That's what these spikes are at the top of it. And they have it made, they have the humanoid statue made with stone and have it made with twigs. And if you kind of look at it, it does in a way look like how the creatures look when Christie did the autopsy. Yeah, if you look at it, doesn't it kind of look like the insides of when Christie made the autopsy? How the inside of them, they had human anatomy. They were human, but they had no liquid except for the bile. To me, that looks exactly or equivalent to what the inside would look like on the inside of these creatures. Because why would they do a humanoid head? Why would they make a humanoid head but not a humanoid body? But have the body with twigs and looking like it's really nothing on the inside, and not just make a complete humanoid statue that looks equivalent to humans. And I think it's because it's not supposed to be human. It's not supposed to be human. Yeah, hopefully you all can't hear those sirens in the background. It's so crazy. People doing crazy stuff on the weekend, doing crazy stuff.
So basically, the folks or whoever it was in charge, they pulled some shenanigans.
Yeah, people out there pulling shenanigans on the weekend. But yeah. So Boyd was wanting to catch one of these creatures. Yeah, he was wanting to catch them. In the mousetrap episode, which he didn't catch anything, Christie ended up getting her foot caught in a bear trap. But when you think about it, okay, if you catch one of those things, what exactly are you going to do after you catch it?
Bruh.
Because it's possible maybe they have a house where there's a room in the home where there's two doors. you could put a talisman stone on the outside of each door where the creatures can't go outside the door. Now the creature is caught inside the room. But how do you talk to the creature? How do you talk to it? Because the creatures, for all we know, may just lay down and just wait for someone to come in the room, and they spring up and start walking towards the person. And then even when trying to talk to them, what if you try to talk to the creatures and the creatures just sit there smiling? Like we've seen them do in the other seasons where they just smile at you and eventually walk away. Well, if you got a creature inside of a room, can't leave, just sitting there smiling with you, what use is it going to be to capture the creature? And I'm going to tell you nothing. There's going to be no purpose in catching the creature if you can't do anything to actually harm it. But I think it'd be a better strategy for Boyd and company to go to the grotto, take the stone, make arrows, make axes, make knives, make stuff. And if you're going to catch the creature, hit the creature with that stuff and see not only do you cause damage, but is the damage permanent? Because remember, Boyd, he took a knife, he cut the smiley creature, he put the worms inside the smiley creature. My blood is your blood. Well, in the past, the creatures didn't block or evade attacks because they seem to be invulnerable. They don't mind getting shot. They just keep on coming like it's Terminator. They just keep on coming.
Finish him.
But I think if you use something from the stone that the grotto is made of, not only will you hurt the creatures, but I believe that you would actually cause damage that would actually stop them in their tracks, if not unaliving them. And that's, to me, that's what the secret of the talisman stone is. It's not that it's magic or enchanted or anything like that. It's just that what the stone is made of, that mineral, is what keeps them from advancing. And that's the reason why the grotto protected Boyd, even though it's just leaves and vines there at the entrance. The leaves and vines weren't really enough, in my opinion, to stop the creatures from coming in. I think it was just the fact that the grotto is made from a type of stone that repels the creatures.
Game over.
All right, so I've kept you hostage for about 30 minutes. I'm going to open it up. See if anybody has any questions, any type of comments or anything. All right, so the chat's been opened up to everybody. Yep, the chat's been opened up. So what do you all think as far as, oh, and also there's 21 people watching. If I could get my thumbs up, got 11 likes so far. Give me a thumb up or a thumb down. If you're like, this theory is doo-doo. If you feel like this theory is doo-doo, not even a good thing, give me a thumb down. I'm cool with just getting a thumb up or a thumb down. Just as long as I get engagement, I'm good with it. I'm good. See, did I fix it for members only? I mean, yeah, okay. Should be good to go for everybody. Yep, we are. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I know it's kind of late. People probably sleep. I know the UK people, if they're on YouTube and they're free, they're probably will file in here. They're probably the ones watching. Yeah, that's the reason why I think that this Confederate soldier is smashed underneath this boulder, because you may be able to harm them, but it may come to a point where you have to just pin them down and they'll just be stuck and they won't be able to maybe lift the stone off of them and they'll just be pinned down. Now, this Civil War soldier, this Confederate soldier has blood. So we know this can't be a creature because it's got blood. But this it's possible that looking at the creature's face, that maybe this is before the creature turned all the way to becoming a creature, or maybe this is something else. Maybe this Confederate soldier was possessed, because when Jade came into the cellar and walked up to the closet, the Confederate soldier turned towards him and yelled the same way Jasper yelled at Jade when Jade was in the day room area, and the symbol manifested on the wall, in the same way that the Jasper dummy yelled at Christopher. So this may be whatever is controlling Jasper. We may be dealing with that, but we still see a boulder, and it may come down to the fact that whatever the grotto stones are made of, whatever this boulder is made of, that might be the only way you really can hurt things and from. And it would make sense. It would make sense, because when Kenny and I think he's with Jade. When Kenny went off into the forest and they were looking for the grotto, they couldn't find it. The forest had moved the grotto, and then they stumbled upon the cabins. No, it was Kenny and Jim. They stumbled upon the cabins and the humanoid statues. So I believe that the forest is trying to keep people from going back to the grotto, just because whatever the grotto is made from or made of can hurt the creatures. And I think that with the creatures being upgraded to become nightmare creatures, and Boyd issuing the challenge, you can't break me, you can't break me, now the evil entity is working double time to keep them from getting things that would put them at an advantage. What's going on? Is it Publa? Thank you for being a channel member. All right, so South London Resellers asks, what tools would the town use to make weapons with the mineral stone? You basically can use, I'm sure they have tools somewhere, because they have a garden out there. And then you had Victor, he was digging a grave with a shovel. So you can use the iron to bang away at the stones to have them form into different shapes. Or you can use stones to shape other stones. Plus you got the talisman rocks. They could be used to bang on the stones to turn them into weapons. But what I'm thinking is creating just something that's like small and pointy. Remember Randall was on the bus, and he was kind of dwindling away at a rock or some type of like stone it appeared to be, and he was making the little face. So I think that's kind of like foreshadowing that Randall may be the one to have the idea of using whatever he was using to I think it's called dwiddling, to dwiddle on the stone to make the face. I think he would probably be the one to come up with the idea to use the stones to, instead of making little faces and dwiddling away, to use it to make weapons. Yep. So, Publa, hopefully I'm not messing your name up, probably am, says Randall held up the talisman. Old lady creature said it doesn't work like that. Sweetie didn't seem to repel them in that situation. So I think in repelling them, they have to be inside of a structure such as what the grotto was made of, or putting it outside the door, or I mean putting it on the inside of a door or inside of a home, having the door closed, the window closed, and it repels the creatures out. So Randall was using the stone to repel the creatures. And I think she was right. Like, repelling them is not going to work. It doesn't work to repel them. So you don't want to repel the creatures. You want to use the stone to hurt the creatures. And the best way to kind of test that theory is to turn the stone into something from the grotto and testing it out on the creatures to see if you make an arrow and you hit the creature with the arrow, will it affect the creature? Because you see in this shot, in the previous shot of episode 4, you had Randall, he had the stone up trying to repel them. The librarian creature said that doesn't work like that. And I think Randall dropped it on the ground, because here we see him on the ground. He's holding his pants. He's scared. So Randall dropped the stone on the ground, and that's when they converged on him and they gave him the neck injury. So I believe that if he were to create a weapon, or him or someone were to create a weapon with the stone, they could use the weapon as like a dagger, maybe an axe, or anything, and hit the creatures with them, and that will, in my opinion, cause damage. Because the creatures have no problem getting shot and probably stuff thrown at them. The creatures aren't messed up about taking actual damage. It just doesn't really hurt them. And they're able to heal. But I think if you were to turn the stones into weapons, the grotto stones, that is, because I wouldn't experiment with the talisman stones, because what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong and the stones are just to repel, and you can't make them into weapons and it does anything? So I wouldn't take the talisman stones and experiment with them. I would go to the grotto, use those stones, make weapons, and to test them out. Especially since Boyd is talking about trying to trap them. Yeah, I would do that. I would do that. So Henderson CNC says Baltimore in the house. Yep. Welcome. So yeah, I think that's what it is. You're making tools out of them, out of the stones, and doing the same thing that is done, that we see with the Civil War soldier. How the soldier is pinned down. I think even if you get on top of, let's say, Colony House, and you take one of the stones and throw it at the creature, that might pin the creature down, because we've never seen any of the creatures actually touch the stone. We've never seen them. So South London says cicadas could possibly repel them. Well, I think the cicadas are a different story, because we saw the cicadas go inside of the homes and possess people. So as far as dealing with the cicadas, I I think dealing with the cicadas and maybe dealing with stuff that's not the tip of the spear that Martin described would be a different way to try to engage them and attack them. But I mean, I don't know. But the cicadas may be a different story. I think the cicadas are going to be inside of Jade, Christy, and Marielle till they can find some type of way to get the cicadas out of them. And it may come to having to crunch up the stones from the grotto, put it into some type of drink, and ingest it. Which, no, that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea. Yeah, that's a bad idea. Yeah. Yeah, as far as the cicadas, I don't know. You SOL with those things. But yeah, I think going on top of Colony House, or maybe going on top of one of the homes, staying up there and throwing the rocks down and hitting one of them and seeing what effect that would have would yield some type of benefit versus just staying in the home waiting for them to lure you out. So we're 43 minutes in. How about we take an adventure? Because today is October 19. So for me, where I'm at, I'm going to be seeing episode 5 at like 9 p.m. my time. Tell you what, while I get something set up, we're going to look at some of the teaser shots for episode 5. So everybody thumb up the video and share while we take a quick break. These are some of the teaser shots for episode 5. So Doll says, I've thought the same, that monsters can't touch talismans. When the old female monster entered Ethan and Julie's home, she likely had time to take the stone and remove their protection. Every time a creature goes into one of the homes, you would think they would just destroy the stone to prevent the stone to be from being used. But they don't do that. They don't do that at all. So I agree, they more than likely can't touch the stones. But once the stone is once like the door is opened or the window's open, it's game on. So Laura says, I'm excited for episode 5. Well, we got some press release photos for episode 5. So if you all don't want any type of spoilers or image or anything, leave now. We're going to go through some pictures that come from episode 5, and I'm going to try to make heads or tails from it. So yeah, if you do not want any type of spoilers going into watching episode 5, leave now. All right, so this picture right here, so first glance, it looks like they're in front of the bottle tree, and here are the bottles on the ground. That's the actual bottle tree with a lot of bottles up there. And so a lot of the bottles appear to be empty. This bottle tree seems like all the bottles are empty and don't have any of the paper in it that Boyd had found when he was with Sarah at the end of season 1. So yeah, it looks like Jade is messing with the bottle tree, knocking some of the bottles down. Or maybe they did take the bottles down and found the paper inside of some of them. Not making heads or tails. So because Jade and Tabitha are just sitting around in this teaser picture, I'm thinking that they must have so I guess they don't have it in part as far as this. So I believe that they went to the bottle tree that's supposed to lead to the lighthouse. I think they went inside and the bottle tree didn't work. Because if it did work, they wouldn't be sitting outside the bottle tree messing with bottles, sitting down talking, and Tabitha looking like she's trying to solve a mystery. I mean, Tabitha even looks, maybe this is the actress or something, but she even looks like she's kind of stressed right there with the eyes. So she told people about how she left Fromville, going inside the bottle tree that led to the lighthouse. People went to the tree, saw that it didn't work, and they went back home. That's what my prediction is. I think the tree is not going to work. The faraway tree doesn't work for whatever reason, and that's the reason why they're sitting outside looking at the letters, and Jade is taking down the bottles, trying to see what's inside the bottle trees. Yeah, that's what I think is going on. Is for whatever reason the faraway trees aren't working, or maybe they found the faraway tree or a tree that has bottles but not a faraway tree or something. Yeah, so Laura says she's probably trying to figure out why it is not working this time. Yeah, that's what my guess is, because when there's a shot, not on these teaser shots, but there's a shot that I used in the trailer, like it comes from the actual trailer for the episode 5 episode, where the camera's pointing out of the tree and they're looking inside as if they're trying to figure out why it's not working. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up. All right, so this is the trailer for episode 5. And again, if you do not want to be spoiled, click off now.
Hell happened last night? Tell me, back. What? Listen, Tabitha got off. It's possible. Where's the tree?
What are we waiting
Look at
for?
the top.
I got it.
That's here. Let's go. Let's go, boys. No.
Victor,
We're going to the tree. What?
they're right. I went out and I came back. And I came back with nothing.
With nothing. All right, see, that's a shot right there. The camera is pointed outside the tree. They're looking inside. They probably went in the tree. Nothing happened. Other people went in the tree. Nothing happened. Ouch. So Second Wind says, what movie is this? So this is not a movie. This is a show called From on MGM Plus. It is not a movie. Yeah, so yep, so the reason why it doesn't work, who knows? I mean, maybe Victor knows, or maybe the forest turned off the faraway trees. But if we don't see the boy in white in this episode, or as far as episode 5, if we don't see the boy in white and the faraway trees don't work, then just like the boy in white was telling Boyd and Sarah that the place is angry, the place may be angry and is turning off different supernatural stuff to make it harder for people to survive.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Yeah. So it looks good. Yeah, it's a great show. If you have never seen From on MGM Plus, definitely check it out. You could binge watch season 1 and 2, and you can come on back after you get caught up with season 3. Yep. So that's what I'm thinking is going on is they're stuck, wondering why the faraway tree is not working, taking bottles down, seeing what's inside the bottles, can't make heads or tails. And it appears in this shot that that majority of the bottles that are up there are empty. So maybe some bottles had paper in it, maybe some did not. Yeah, so that's what's in Tabitha's hand right there. Some bottles, for whatever reason, have something and some do not. So it could be that the bottles serve the purpose of warding away evil. There's different things such as dream catchers. Dream catchers are said to consume evil, and maybe that's what is going on with these bottles that don't have any paper inside of them.
What the heck?
Yeah, so that's Victor and Sarah sitting outside, and I guess his mom's station wagon in the back of it. So Victor was telling Sarah that he wanted to go talk to Jasper, and they're sitting around. They're just sitting around. This is probably going to be a sitting around episode where they just do a bunch of talking, nothing gets done. I'm willing to bet that this episode and the next episode is just a bunch of sitting around and a filler episode full of drama, exposition, and maybe a little bit of action with the diner. People saying, let's go to the tree. And then they get a nothing burger. So now it appears that Victor and Sarah are besties. Victor's out there having an emotional breakdown. This is probably after he heard about his dad, I guess, coming back or being back. Maybe they were going to go talk to Jasper. Donna told Victor his dad is in Fromville. He's like, it's not possible. He's freaking out. That's what I'm thinking that is.
Pays to win, still loses.
So Kiss of Death says, what makes Victor think that he can talk with Jasper? I mean, I'd be scared to even approach that thing. Well, they saw, I believe that Victor and Tabitha saw Jasper in the cave when the creatures had went through Colony House. So maybe he's brave now because he's got Sarah with him. I don't know. Yeah, Sarah's looking like she's worried. Victor's using Sarah as an emotional tampon. She's probably stressed out, hearing that he's stressed out. Yeah, both of them stressed out. They're stressing each other. So this is after getting the news that his dad is in town. He says it's not possible. He freaks out and leaves. So it's looking like, yeah, this shot is probably before this scene, and he's contemplating life. So he's not thinking about Jasper anymore. He's contemplating life. Yeah. Yeah, he's contemplating life. And so Ellis has been giving his dad, Boyd, a hard time ever since Boyd unalived his mom, Abby. Abby was shooting up the block. And yeah, Ellis has been upset with Boyd ever since. I mean, rightly so. You know, if you pow someone's mom, I mean, it's gonna make anybody upset.
Bruh.
So this is probably Ellis trying to convince Boyd to let everybody go to the tree. He's yelling at Boyd. Yeah. I think in the previous shot, or the teaser, they were talking about going to... Let me go back to that. Yeah, I think that was Ellis that was saying, yeah, we need to go ahead and go there.
Hell happened last night? Tabitha's back. What? Listen, Tabitha got out. It's possible. Where's the tree?
What are we waiting for?
Yeah. Yeah, if Fatima is saying, what are we waiting on? You already know Ellis is like, yeah, let's get up out of here. So that's probably what the tension is all about with that. Or maybe this is before they had their town hall meeting. Yeah, Ellis is looking like he didn't get the answer that he wanted. Yikes. Yeah, he didn't get the answer he wanted to hear. So Kiss of Death asks, what is my thoughts on Tilly? I think Tilly was a comedic relief character. And she pulled out the Talisman cards, didn't get a chance to flip them over. And that's going to be all Tilly really does this entire season. Yeah, that was Tilly's only thing that she was going to be doing this season, was offering the tarot card reading. She didn't get a chance to do the reading. That's probably going to be her whole purpose. She's just more of a comedic relief. Because in From, they just have too many characters to try to develop. So you'll have one character that may have one scene for a whole season, and that's their whole speaking role. So that's what I think about Tilly. Tilly is just a background character. She just was used to present the tarot cards, to have the Black Crow go into the home just for some type of scene that was like, wow, but not really much else to Tilly. Now, that surface level, I think Tilly does have divination. I think she does have supernatural abilities. It's just that I don't think the writers are going to fully flesh her out and develop her and explore that aspect, simply because they got so many different characters and to work with. And the three main characters, the three core characters are Tabitha, Jade, Boyd. The whole series revolves around those three and their storylines. And I think that with Fatima, she's going to be just something for Boyd to solve or do to give him purpose this season. But I don't think Tilly is really going to be a value add besides the episode with the Talisman stuff. But I don't know. Maybe they may have more for her. Maybe they may have more for her. Yeah, maybe they may have more for her. So Dahl says, but Boyd also points the finger at himself, so maybe Ellis is just making accusations against Boyd. Yeah, it's very much possible. It's very much possible. Yeah, there's always going to be tension between those two just because Boyd unalived Abby, and Boyd was searching the forest, exploring it, looking for answers, looking for food and stuff, and he ended up finding the talisman stones because of that and the livestock that saved the town. But Abby kind of blames him for not being there for her, and then I guess that's why she went to go pow everybody. So Boyd did the right thing as a leader, but I think he should have been more along the lines of delegating duties versus trying to do everything himself. And that's where Boyd always messes up at.
Yay!
Yeah, Boyd doesn't really want to delegate duties. He wants to have everything on his back. He wants to quarterback every situation. And that's like, it's a good thing because he's done something in the series, but it's a bad thing because he's not thinking straight. He needs to have command and control. He needs to be like a commander and stay back at home base and delegate for people to go out and do stuff and not risk himself.
But that's okay.
I think if he would have done that, Abby would still be alive and they would have covered more ground with trying to make a map of the forest and discover more stuff. So Brandon said, this is about a series or truly a conversation about the stones. We did cover the stones. Brandon, you're late. Now, if you have any questions about the stones, we can go back to it. But yeah, we went over the stones. That was during the time when it was members only chat.
Unfrickin' believable.
Yeah, you may be late coming in. So yeah, if y'all have a question about the stones or anything that you've heard in the broadcast, we can go over it. I'm flexible to be able to bounce back and forth. But right now we're going through some of the press release photos for episode 5 that's going to be published October 20th. Mm-hmm. Yep, I guess that's it. That's all we got. Just 15 photos. Yeah, it was basically a nothing burger with the faraway tree. Yep, a nothing burger. So everybody take time out. to subscribe and click the notification bell, thumb up the video, share it. Just got a notification from YouTube. I'm not into the TV series, but the Stones interest me. Yeah. Yeah. So if by not being into the TV series, I guess like you've never seen the TV series, as far as a show called From, that's cool. That's cool. Only thing I was just going over was the Stones on the show. The minerals that the Stones are made of repel the creatures, not some type of magic or anything. And there's a grotto that the main character Boyd stumbles into that stops the creatures from going at him. And I think it's because of what the Stones are made of that prevented the creatures from going into the grotto, not the Talisman stones being magical. And that's basically it in a nutshell. Okay, so Brandon says, don't watch TV much. Well, thank you for joining us either way. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate you and everybody else who comes. I know I've done content before in the past as far as movie and televisions. I've been kind of focusing on From a lot. So that is cool. So everybody take time out and let's take a break and subscribe if you have not done so. Muted. I'm muted. Let me start over. So this is the front of the Parkland Media YouTube channel. And this is the join button right here. You click the join button to join channel membership. That gives you access to badges, members only chat, members only live stream, members only content, and allows you to do emojis in the live stream chat. Yep, no sound. Thank you, appreciate it. Yep, Kiss of Death is on MGM Plus. First 2 seasons is on Amazon Prime. Yeah, I saw that. I've got MGM Plus because Amazon Prime, it gives you like the old stuff, which is nothing wrong with that if you've never seen anything. But I personally just I like From, so I got MGM Plus, and I do the thing like that. All right, so yeah, subscribe. Click that to subscribe, and you got to make sure you also have the bell clicked to get all notifications. I've heard people say, hey, you were live, got the notification late. Maybe you have to unsubscribe and resubscribe and click the bell in order to get notifications. I'm not sure. Sometimes YouTube's on it with notifications, sometimes it's not. And also, you can support, if channel membership is not your thing, you can also support by clicking the thanks that's on the front of videos to the left, no, to the right of the download button on the front page. So those are different ways you can support. And if anybody wants to support through Cash App, I can give you that, but there's no pressure. No pressure to support, to join channel membership, to do a thanks. All I ask for is to thumb up the video, share it to your social media, subscribe, and click the notification bell. It is free and it don't cost you nothing. Yeah, it don't cost you nothing to thumb up the video, or you could even thumb it down. If you're like, this theory sucked, you can thumb it down. So I got 24 likes, 26 viewers. I like that engagement. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what do you all think as far as season 5? Are you guys ready for it? You think it's going to be a good episode? Do you think it's going to be a nothing burger, that exposition, like the filler episodes? What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Matter of fact, let me do a poll. All right, do you believe, so the poll, it asks, do you believe From Season 3, Episode 5 will be great? Yay or nay? What do you think it's going to be? What do you think it's going to be? So personally, I always think that every episode, even if it's a filler episode with just conversation, we either see something or hear something in conversation that turns out to be something. I just dropped a video about the theory that there are 3 Tabithas, 2 lighthouses, and that's kind of explaining where the phone Thomas comes from, in my opinion. If you have not had a chance to watch that video, check it out right after this live stream ends. Okay, Brandon says, I'm new to your channel. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being new to the channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So Kiss of Death says, I thought I would subscribe to you, but I wasn't. I watch your videos. Well, Kiss of Death, hold up. You got to subscribe.
That was sus.
You got to subscribe. Don't leave me hanging. If you all have been rocking with me, and I appreciate you for rocking with me, if you've been watching my content and not subscribed, it's like, what are you waiting on, man? Come on. Come on. Stop playing. Stop playing. So Kiss of Death says, man, I'm so hyped for episode 5. I think people will start trying to go in the faraway trees and end up unaliving themselves. Man, if they do, that'd be kind of fun to watch.
What the heck? Yeah.
Brandon says, I don't pay for much. It's good reason I'd rather share my presence with you. Okay. So Brandon asks, are they in a dark forest? Somewhat like that. So Nadia, love the analysis on the Tabithas and the lighthouse. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. So Kiss of Death says subscribed. Okay, cool. Nikisha Moore, hello everyone. New subscriber here. It came from Julie. Okay, yeah, good channel. Good channel, and thank you for coming on over. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Brandon says he did as well. Okay, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you all for joining me on this, well, where I'm at is Saturday morning. So if y'all have any questions about the Stones or episode 5 or anything, you know, let me know. Looking at the poll. Yeah, 12 votes out of 31 people. Everyone says they believe episode 5 is going to be great. I think so too. I think so too. I'm excited. Every time it's Saturday and From is going to be dropping, it's 9 p.m. my time when it comes out. I'm always excited. I'm always excited. And I'm also excited because once I get done watching an episode, then get a chance to come up with theories and just watch it again and again to be able to see if I missed anything. So I just enjoy the show. It's a really good show. So South London says, watching from the UK, came from Reel's channel. Okay. Okay, welcome. Yeah, he's got a good channel too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mm-hmm. All good channels. So Laura says, I want to see what's up with that swimming pool scene. Yeah. That should be interesting. I think Boyd is out there. Matter of fact, let's go back to the teaser for episode 5. There we go.
Hell happened last night? Tell me this back. What? Listen, Tabitha got off. It's possible. Where's the tree?
Hurry, wait, look at the top. I got it.
It's gonna go us for boys. No.
Victor, we're going to the tree.
What?
They're right. I went out and I came back. And I came back with nothing.
Let's see what's going on.
And I came back with nothing.
So I'm guessing, I believe that so all we see in the background are extras. And we know that Donna deals with
And I came back with
Colony House, Boyd deals with the town. So whoever this person that Boyd is addressing has got to be someone from the town. Now, could this be after the diner? What do you all think? You think it's after the diner where they're at the pool? Could it be after the diner? Because that would make sense as to why there's so many people out there. But I'm also seeing somebody in a blanket like they just woke up. So you know what I think this might be? And I could be wrong, but if I had to take a guess, I think this might be maybe he's approaching Randall. because we haven't seen Randall in any of the promotion material or the preview. He may be approaching Randall. Randall may be outside, injured and freaking out. What do you all think? You think it may be Randall? Kiss of Death says, what do you think are the consequences of Jay pulling the pole from the totem? I don't think anything. I think those humanoid statues were, like I said at the beginning part of the stream, they were like an illustration on how to deal with the creatures. That's the reason why those spikes were in his head. And I also think that maybe the humanoid statues were also marking territory. But I think that the pole that was pulled out from the humanoid statue that helped get Christy out of the bear trap, if he kept that pole, I think somehow that pole will be used against a creature and the effect will be something that's worth getting more weapons from, or more things from the humanoid statues, and maybe even going to the grotto. So Nadia says, are the stones a representation of the rules of the game, or are they actually magic? I'd love to hear my opinion. So I just kind of what I said in the beginning of the stream, I don't think that the talisman stones are magic at all. I think what's on the front of them is maybe a ritual or instruction. But I think that what makes this talisman stones effective is the minerals that they're made of, not any magic put on the stones. Yeah, everybody looks horrified. Nikisha says, I wish we could see someone try to have a cordial conversation with the creatures like Jasmine and Kevin. I'd ask them, what do they know? Maybe a friendly one would tell me. Yeah, Nikisha.
Oh my God.
Yeah, if you have a conversation with them out in the open, they might mess around and take you out. Okay? Yeah, they're going to take you out. But I think if Boyd does manage to catch one of them and put him inside of one of the homes with a talisman stone on the outside of each door that will lock them in, I think they may be able to have conversation from the creatures. I just don't really see them doing anything except for talking crap and smiling. You got to have some way to threaten the creatures. And I think taking stuff from the grotto, as far as the stones on the grotto, or stuff from the humanoid statues and like stabbing the creatures with them and damaging the creatures with them and making arrows and things like that, or maybe even axe, that is the secret sauce to getting the creatures to talk, because now they may feel threatened if it has an effect that kind of hurts them. So Laura thinks that this scene's after the meeting. Yeah, I think so. Maybe they got into a fight or something. I could see that. And Laura says the blanket's because she's cold. Yeah, I mean, it could be. Because they do share stuff in Quality House, and maybe that's her favorite blanket or something. I could see that.
Perfect.
I could see that. You think someone went inside the faraway tree? Well, I think so too. I think it just, nothing happened. That's the reason why Julie and Jade are sitting outside the tree in the promotion pictures, and they're just kind of playing around with the bottles because the tree, for some reason, is not working. So South London says Randall seems well in the later promotional shots. Did I miss them? Is there like another area where the shots are? Is there another area? Let me see. Okay, you know what? You know what, y'all? We got more shots. So it turns out I stopped short of the other shots. All right, so we got Bacta on the bus with Boyd. And again, spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, don't want to be spoiled at all, turn away now because we're about to go through the rest of these shots. All right, so I'll count to 5 and we'll keep on going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. All right. You've been warned. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. So Dahl thinks Christy will pass away. She's not in any of the pictures from the upcoming episodes on Rotten Tomatoes. She's also not mentioned in the episode descriptions. Yeah, that is true. And plus, her foot was damaged from the bear trap. That's him talking to Bacta. Boy with the back turned. Okay, it's Henry. Henry's looking around, getting a tour. Yeah, you stuck, boy. You stuck, bruh. You stuck. All right, more of Victor and Sarah. They're besties now. They're besties. I believe they took pictures of the entire episode. It's wow, yeah, it's like over 80 pages of pictures. They took the entire episode. That is crazy. So everybody's running over. I mean, who could be in the pool? The whole town's out there. Man, the whole town's out there.
Yikes. Yikes.
The whole town. Maybe it's Acosta in the pool freaking out. So Nikisha says Smiley would have done it. I remember him telling Boyd he liked that game. I bet the creatures are lonely too. Like Jasmine said, they didn't choose to be that way. Yeah, I agree. So South London says the only way to communicate with the creatures is to talk their language. They like to glamour their victims and use flattering language. Well, yeah, I mean, Jasmine, she had Kevin out there simping.
Simping activate.
So you're right about that. Yeah, I think it's Acosta freaking out. All right, that's Kenny talking to Boyd. He went on a mission. That's everybody in the diner. Tabitha left and came back with a nothing burger. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know it's a bad day when Donna's sitting down. I think Donna's gonna like try to wiggle out of being leader since she's been having breakdowns. Yeah. Bacta's talking. This is basically the whole episode. They got the whole episode out here. Wow. Yeah, they're talking. Henry's there. Okay, Acosta. Maybe it wasn't Acosta flipping out. This is before Tabitha decides to go to the tree. right, so Henry's looking at the artwork in Ellis and Fatima's room. I think he's touching it because it reminds him of Miranda. South London says the extras in the show are not consistent. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're definitely not. All right, so Julie and Elgin. Remember, it seemed like he was trying to talk to Julie at one point. Or maybe Julie was trying to shoot her shot with him. What do y'all think? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I think Elgin is going to hit something against, maybe he's going to hit one of the crows. Maybe he's going to hit the bell. I think maybe a crow came into Colony House and he's going to swat it away. Or maybe he's doing it. Maybe he's posturing for Julie. Knowing good and well Elgin wouldn't hurt a fly. If anything, he's been getting bullied by the kimono woman. So, yeah. Yeah. So Nikisha says she doesn't trust Henry. Yeah. Why don't you trust Henry? What's wrong with Henry? So Kiss of Death says, I got that same vibe with those two. However, I need to know Elgin's age. Well, I think Julie is at least 18, right? And Elgin kind of seems like he's young. I mean, maybe they may have that whole Romeo Juliet thing or something. I don't know.
Stay above my Instagram, pure temptation.
All right, that's the end of that. Yeah, they got the whole episode up here. That's Elgin and Fatima. They're talking. Fatima's eating people. Maybe Elgin knows at this point. I'm pretty sure he's tried to kiss her. She pulled away. He pressed the issue and she went ahead and kissed him. Sir, if you did kiss her, you probably got some blood in your mouth. Ugh.
You suck.
South London likes the wardrobe for Fatima's character. It's the little things. It's the little things. Yep, it's the little things. All right, so Acosta talking to Boyd. Maybe Acosta's going to join the force of From. Be maybe another deputy or something. Uh-oh. Creature alert. Creature alert. Maybe they're gonna show what happened to Randall, and they're gonna show how he. No, this is from the. This is episode 3. Okay, I'm tripping. Okay, so that's the okay. So I was thinking that they had 80 pages for episode 5, but it's just it stops on number 5. So there's that. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. So they didn't have the whole episode up there like I thought. I was like, man, if there's 80 pages worth of promotion photos, then they got the whole episode up there. But no, I was wrong. So Nikisha says, I don't trust Henry for still living in that house like a shrine with all that from art in the basement for decades. He just feels off. I mean, he may have not been able to really move forward. I mean, his family went missing. The police accused him of doing something to his family. He may be stuck in like time. I mean, it didn't appear that he had a girlfriend or anyone living with him. He may have just been like living life and just surviving. He could have been traumatized. I mean, your whole family goes missing. People accuse you of doing something to your family, not looking for them. You don't have answers. I mean, it's my opinion, but I think that it's understandable if he just became depressed, then went into despair, and he's just been like that for decades. I can see that. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. So Dale says, I think it's interesting that the phone call in the first episode from the old female monster must mean that the other calls they get are also from something evil. From the old female monster. The phone call. So Nikisha says, I don't think Tabitha ever left from. I think she did. I mean, somehow she got in the ambulance with Henry and Acosta. And Henry and Acosta definitely were not in from. So I honestly believe that she really did leave.
These nuts.
So Nikisha says that Camden, Maine felt like Truman Show-ish to her. I can see that. South London says last episode was the second best out of the whole series. The first episode was the best. Yeah, I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. So Chev says, what other statues they found near that house? Statue? You mean the humanoid statues? I could pull that up. I think you're referring to the humanoid statues outside of the log cabin. You're talking about these right here. These humanoid statues. You know, it's got to be, yeah, because these are the only statues in the entire show. Yeah, these are the only statues in the entire show. Okay, so yeah. So my guess is that these humanoid statues were made from the stones of the grotto. And I believe the humanoid statues are a way to communicate a way to unalive the creatures. That's why they have the spikes in the head. My guess is that someone's communicating that you take the stones from the grotto, the same stones that the talisman is made of, and you make weapons, you put it inside the creature's heads, and that's how you unalive them. And that's the reason why the head, the humanoid head looks crazy, and they got the empty body, like as if it resembles the creatures, especially when Chrissy did the autopsy, how the creatures were looking all shriveled up on the inside. I think that's what the humanoid statues represent. Maverick Hunter asks, do you find it strange that the entire series Victor was never attacked by monsters? Well, we don't know that. We don't know that. He has been hiding out when he was by himself. And if you notice, every time people are in Colony House, you don't see Victor in Colony House with them. In the first episode, when they were all underground, you didn't see Victor with them as well. Victor has like his own hiding spots, and I think that's how he's been able to survive.
That was sus.
Muted again. Muted again. Sorry about that, y'all. So I could see him creating another personality to deal with the trauma from being there for a long time. I mean, he did find his mom Miranda, and he did find Eloise unalived. So to deal with that trauma, maybe he could have created like another personality. I could see that. Has it been no sound for a long time? Yeah, hope. Yeah. So I pushed mute to clear my throat so I wouldn't like clear my throat in y'all's ear, and messed around and kept talking. So yeah, I was talking to myself.
What you do, dumbass?
3 minutes of being silent. I was silent for 3 minutes. Wow. 3 whole minutes. It would be so cool to see Victor completely shift demeanors. The actor is so good, he could pull it off. Yeah, he is good. 3 whole minutes. Yikes. Three whole minutes of silent treatment. Man, well, sometimes it's a live stream show, sometimes it's a comedy. It is what it is.
Uh-oh, stinky.
You know what? Since we're here and we're dressed, might as well kind of talk about a theory I've been working on. Jasper. Jasper. All All right, so I think whatever the big bad of From is has used Jasper to manipulate Christopher. Something must have happened to Christopher because we don't see him in Fromville anymore, and Jasper was in the cave just like lying there. So what I'm thinking is that when Christopher was arguing with Jasper that Victor saw, Jasper may be using the yelling or the screaming as a way to kind of like control and hypnotize Christopher, because he was arguing with him here, arguing with him. Christopher gets up in disgust, and then I got these out of order. And then Jasper turns and yells at Christopher as Christopher walks off, and then Jasper looks at Victor. And we saw the scene right here where this Confederate soldier had looked over at Jade when Jade came in the cellar and opened the closet door and yelled at Jade. And we also saw the Jasper, I'll just say the Jasper vision that Jade had while he was in the day room rolling up the Mary Jane. Jasper had yelled at him as well. So I think, and the reason why I think that Jasper is the big bad is I think Jasper was the voice who was telling Sarah to unalive Toby and make it look like the creatures did it, because that set Jade on the path of being cut off from someone who could keep him grounded. That gave Jade some trauma, because Jade already had trauma from his mom from what he told Bacta. I think that triggered Jade because Toby was Jade's best friend, and Jade being confused, having trauma, being upset, not having answers to questions, that makes him susceptible and emotional and easier to control. And I think when Jasper came to Jade as a vision and yelled at him, the idea was to see if Jade was so beaten down that Jasper could use the yell to kind of like possess him and control him. Because when it comes to possession, people are able to be possessed when they're like down on their luck, they're depressed, when they're going through despair, when they're going through something, maybe dealing with addiction. Anytime you're, we'll just say, not at your best self, it makes it easier to be controlled, easier to be manipulated, and easier to be possessed. So I think that all this yelling that we've seen is from the Confederate soldier, Jasper. That is the entity trying to control Jade. And when Jade had yelled back at Jasper, talking about the scene right here, when Jade yelled back at Jasper, it's because Jade still was strong-minded and strong-willed. I do think that Jade's going to get to a point where he's going to be feeling weak, and perhaps whatever is controlling Jasper, the dummy, and influenced Christopher and influenced that colonial guy that had the skull and was drinking the blood, that the same thing that controlled them is going to probably take a hold of Jade as well. So Anna says, don't worry about it. Maybe for 2 minutes, it happens to the best of us. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yep, it is what it is. Sometimes it's a live stream show. Sometimes it's a comedy. Chev says, I wonder if there are other groups of people trying to survive all across the vial or the forest. I think that there are other tribes, and that one tribe made the humanoid statues and is in the area with the cabins. And I think that the more that the people in town and Colony House explore the forest, they're going to find those other tribes. So that South London asks, how do you feel about the use of the ventriloquist doll on the show? I think it's symbolic that the entire time from season 1, episode 1, that there have been two sides, evil and good, that have been using the people in town as chess pieces, and that the doll being controlled by a ventriloquist is symbolic of people being controlled like puppets. Same way how the voices told Sarah to kill the boy. You kill the boy, you go home. If not, your brother's going to be unalive. That turned out to be true. Same way with the phone Thomas told Ethan that your mom is going to be in the ambulance. It's going to be coming up. She's going to need her help. That turned out to be true. I think it's been a lot of like puppeteering going on and people being controlled and manipulated, whether they know it or not. And it's like the ventriloquist dummy is kind of like the perfect antithesis or the perfect big bad for this season, because it kind of like circles everything back around to the idea of being controlled. Like as if there's no real free will, everything is determinism. So Maverick says, we all know that Victor hides many answers. It is an entity that we do not know yet. Obviously like the smoke and loss. Yeah, the smoke monster, exactly. Nadia says, yep, the yelling might be a way to try and hypnotize Jade. One of the hypnosis techniques is to create an initial shock. Therefore, the Mabu's hint, master manipulator using hypnosis. Yeah, exactly. I believe that's what it is. Like the big bad for season 2 with the cicadas, and the big bad for this season is going to be Jasper. And I think the person that have to deal with Jasper is going to be Boyd, since he's like the main character. But I think that everybody else is going to be having like their own individual plot lines, talking about Tabitha, Jade, and Boyd. But I think that what's going on with Jasper is going to end up being like the big thing that they have to deal with. I think it's more to it than just simply the dummy. I think it's just something that's going to control maybe one of the characters, and Boyd's going to have to make a decision to end someone's life to save other people, because it seems like that's where his arc is heading towards, is sacrificing people. So Nadia says, yeah, I already read that. So 36 people here, 30 likes. I appreciate you for hanging out with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. So I think we've been on here long enough. We've gone through the stones that I think are not magic, that is basically just science that prevents the creatures from going inside the homes. Went over this episode 5 pictures, teaser pictures, and went over a little bit of Jasper. Jasper using the voice to control people, the yelling to control people, and I think he's going to be the big bad. And also, you can also see one last thing before I let you go. If you notice, Christopher is kind of leaned in forward in a submissive stance, whereas Jasper, the dummy, is kind of leaned back in his chair, looking like he's in charge. And just the fact that there's just this leaning forward, yeah, Christopher's not in charge. And then in this next shot, he gets up and he's like disgusted, as if Jasper is now controlling him, and now Christopher's the dummy. He gets up in disgust. Jasper yells at him to get him back in line. Yeah, I think Christopher was using Jasper as a ventriloquist dummy. Or Christopher was the ventriloquist using Jasper as the dummy, and now Christopher has become the dummy, and he is now on some puppet strings. Yep, I think that's pretty much what ended up happening, and we're going to get more from that, from the rest of the series, or season. Rest of the season, rather. Not series, but the rest of the season. Yep. So, yep, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Thank you for channel members for coming through. Really appreciate it. See if I can get you all. Yeah, thank you, Owen Supreme, for being a channel member. Thank you, Publa, if you're still here. Thank you for being a channel member. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And anybody else who does not want to be a channel member, it's okay. You can also support by clicking the thanks. That's to the right of the subscriber button. And if doing the super chat, super thanks, or channel membership's not your thing, thank you for at least subscribing, click the notification bell. Everybody's appreciated. Everyone's appreciated here. So thank you for joining me in this live stream. Thank you for rocking with me and supporting. We just hit, I think it's, what are we at? Just hit 2,500 subscribers. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So thank you for subscribing and being a part of the supporters. Really appreciate it. Yeah, Nadia says, or Nadia, hopefully I'm saying that name right. I think it's Nadia. Says, thank you, love from France. Yes, thank you. Appreciate you. Salute. Salute everybody who came out and rocked with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video. Share to your social media. Subscribe. Click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace. All right, so this will give you a chance to subscribe right fast before we end this thing. All right, see you in the next video. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out.